So there's a new Guy Ritchie film starring Jason Statham called The Wrath of Man.
And Post Malone's in it.
He sure is. Let's talk about this one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Wrath of Man. As you can see, I am joined by my buddy the Big Rob Theory, who I mentioned in my review for Loki will be here on the channel a lot more moving forward. We'll make a separate video about why that is, moving closer to when that starts to happen. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the latest Guy Ritchie film, directed by Guy Ritchie, starring Jason Statham, a very macho movie, a very straightforward action movie. Yeah, before we get too far into this, what did you think?
Put the money in the bag, bitch. Sorry, guys, I had to. That is in the movie, and we'll later on in this review we'll talk about that. But yeah, so overall, this movie, I didn't really have that much of a problem with it. There were some quirks with the movie that we'll talk about later, but I love Jason Statham as an actor. He's a phenomenal actor. If I see that he's in a movie, I think that's a consensus between all of us. Bodies are dropping. People are getting screwed up. It ain't a good time for those involved that are not on Jason Statham's side. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So that's what this movie is. But I liked it. You know, it was a good time. As I said, there were some things that I didn't really vibe with, just because it was just some continuity issues and various issues with certain actors and characters in the movie. But you know, we'll dive more into that.
Yeah, overall, I enjoyed it too. I wasn't crazy about it, didn't love it, didn't hate it. Felt like it was a fairly generic action movie.
Yeah.
Very macho. A lot of machismo in the dialogue. Yeah. It's one of those movies where all the guys call, other guys like princess or little girl or did you poo-poo or pee-pee yourself? Like, it's like,
hey there, pretty boy, how you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah,
stuff like that. And like literally there's like a point where like a girl said something to another character.
Mercy. Yeah,
and one of the guys was like, a woman's place is silence or something along those lines. And I was just thinking to myself, this is a very macho film. I can't see a lot of women loving this film.
If you are a hardcore feminist, which there's no problem with that, because we support, the equality of women. That's, obviously we're all equal. But if you are a hardcore feminist, I recommend not watching this. Yeah, like that is a legit line, like, yeah, women's place is not talking. Like, yeah. Even we were like, yeah, that ain't gonna go well with a lot of women. Yeah. I'm surprised the women in this theater didn't say anything, Yeah,
it's a very macho movie, but as he said before, Jason Statham is just like, he's great. In a lot of ways, he plays a very similar role, but I actually thought he was kind of subdued in this performance. A lot more serious and not much of the, like, comedic kind of cool Jason Statham that he plays sometimes. It's very much straightforward in terms of the action and what's happening. And I don't want to get into really what the movie's about. Basic gist, Jason Statham has a past. Something has set him on the path of, showing us the wrath of man. Again, we've already kind of disclosed that there's action, there's Jason Statham, there's craziness going on. There's a reason why we're seeing the wrath of this man. But I don't really want to get into it because it's part of the way that the story is told. And that's one thing I wasn't crazy about. Over the course of the film, we see different parts of the story told in different ways or through different people's perspectives. And a lot of times that's cool. It enlightens the viewer on what's happening. But I feel like, you get maybe 15, 20 minutes into the movie and then it's like, 5 months before, or then it's like 5 months after, a few weeks past, a few this. And it literally jumps forward and backwards multiple times throughout the course of the movie, to the point where eventually you're just kind of like, okay, like,
where are we?
Why are we jumping around so much? Yeah, it did start to feel a little bit messy. One thing he mentioned earlier, a line that he quoted, came from Post Malone that I did not know. I didn't know he was in this film. And so, yeah, I hadn't really seen a lot of the marketing. It was my birthday yesterday as of filming this. We're filming this on June 16th. So yesterday, June 15th, it was my birthday. Took the family and, and Rob and my sister and her boyfriend, and we just all went out and we went to go see the movie. And overall, yeah, we weren't crazy about it. A lot of us liked it, and we were just kind of thought middle of the road. My mom loved it, so it was cool to kind of get the different perspectives. But I think we were all shocked to see Post Malone in the film. There was kind of like a moment where everybody kind of had like everybody kind of perked up and kind of chuckled at the idea that he was in the movie. And yeah, listen, let's go ahead and say this right now. I think we can both say we're fans of Post Malone as a music artist, as a personality. He seems like the coolest dude. He seems awesome. He's incredibly talented, but he's not really a great actor. And he took me out of the scene that he was in, and he didn't fit the movie, man. If he would have been in a movie like a Superbad or something like that, I feel like it would have fit kind of that situation. But in terms of this movie, yeah, I can't say that I was really crazy about him. What did you think about Post Malone?
Honestly, man, we talked about this, and I have no problem talking about it again and again and again and again. I love him as an artist. He is actually one of my top 10 artists, no lie. I listen to a lot of his music, and I vibe with a lot of his music, and a lot of his music speaks to me, you know? So when I saw that he was in the movie, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe this is cool. I like seeing musical artists in movies sometimes because you get to see a different side of them that you didn't know existed. There's some artists that are pretty good actors. You know, I can't really think of any at the top of my head, but there's some artists that I've seen in passing in movies that I'm like, oh, wow, I did not know that he or she could do that.
Yeah.
This is nowhere near the case, folks. This is nowhere near the case. And Post, I highly doubt that you'll ever see this, but if you do, big fan, my man, but not in this movie. But the money in the bag, bitch. Like, that's literally how it sounded. And maybe it was meant to be that way, you know, for comedic relief.
I don't know, because the movie wasn't that funny. You know, it's not really a funny movie. If it has humor, if it has humor, it's very subtle. It's very subtle, and it's not really about humor. It's dry too. It's very dry. It's a very masculine feeling film. Like, it's all about the action. There's very machismo heavy moments, and you know, it's a revenge tale at the end of the day. Take away all the other crap that we've talked about. It's a revenge tale, and it's a Guy Ritchie film. I'm not saying that he can't do light and fun. Anybody who has been keeping up with Guy Ritchie, he just recently did that Aladdin remake. I don't know if you ever saw that movie.
I did, and it was
that was also Guy Ritchie, yeah. But Guy Ritchie's a little bit more well known, I would say, for more stuff like this. He did that movie The Gentleman like a little bit over a year ago, and so you know he's known for a little bit more of like this more grounded kind of you know action movie that that has like a story that's going on, and you know it's not really something he's not really known for silly per se. And so I think Aladdin is the furthest I've ever seen him dip his toes into that. And so this movie, for the most part, is a pretty grounded like action mystery thriller kind of thing.
Keywords for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. And then there's just moments like Post Malone, and Post Malone is not in the movie long, so it's not even like much of a criticism on the film. But we felt when you have somebody like Post Malone in the movie, it's worth mentioning at least. But overall, my wrap-up thoughts would be that the film is well shot. It's got some pretty entertaining and fun to watch action all around. I thought everybody gave a good performance. There's a good mystery throughout the course of the film. It wasn't the most amazing in terms of characters and character development, but as far as Jason Statham and his revenge tale, I liked it. Any final thoughts on your end, man?
No, I kind of have to agree that it was a good movie. It was, because I love action movies. I love big booms and big bangs and a lot of different things that happen. And sometimes when there's a lot of chaos on screen, I do like it because it takes you into a mode of like, yo, what is happening? You know? But his mom and I during the movie sometimes would converse, and she's like, you know, I got kind of like Quentin Tarantino vibes, and I'm not gonna say why, but I agree. There are like slight Quentin Tarantino vibes in this movie, and if you go and see it, you'll see why. But overall, it's not a terrible movie, but it's also not the best movie.
Yeah,
it is a good movie, and I would see it again. I probably wouldn't like go pay and see it again, but I would definitely see it again.
Yeah, if it's like on TV or like on a streaming service. Yeah, exactly.
But if you're a Jason Statham fan, or if you just love action and don't really care too much about much else, not saying that this movie didn't present much else. I'm just saying if you care more about action and you just want to see a lot of things happen, then definitely go see it. And just to compound on what he said, I don't want to talk too much about it, but the continuity issue for me, that was really, 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 really big, because and I hope this doesn't spoil too much, but there were like 3 weeks ago or 5 months ago or a year ago, I mean, that didn't happen, but I'm just saying that's kind of where it's like, you're like, whoa, wait. Yeah. So where exactly are we?
Yeah.
And then 5 months later or 3 weeks later. So it's like,
it jumps around too much, and it's really about showing different people's perspectives of one particular event.
And I get that,
but they only show it to you once you've kind of learned stuff throughout the story, so it kind of makes sense for when you're learning it. And again, I just felt it like was created for a little bit of just like a all right, I'm starting to lose a little bit interest. By the end of the movie, quite frankly, I didn't care about any of the other characters except for Jason Statham's character. There was no sense of stakes to me on that front. I liked the movie for what it was, as just a straightforward action movie with some just solid, fun, entertaining elements. But in terms of something that I'd go and see again in theaters or see again really in general, that's not something I'm rushing to rewatch. But, you know, it's worth talking about here on the channel. I know it came out a few weeks ago, so it's not a brand new movie. But Wrath of Man, if you have something like AMC A-List like I do, and you don't pay anything more than the 20-something bucks a month that you would already pay, I think it's harmless to go check out as one of your 3 movies for the week to check out. But if you're going to take the family out for, like, you know, an outing, and you're going to take everybody to go see it, just know what kind of movie you're walking into. If it doesn't sound like something that would interest you, if the trailers don't really interest you, it's not the greatest movie. I think there's better movies in theaters right now is what I'm saying. You know, right now at this current moment, you can probably still catch screenings of Godzilla vs. Kong or Mortal Kombat. You know, you have In the Heights and the new Cruella, Quiet Place 2. All of those that I just named, I would much more, you know, recommend going to check those out. So final thoughts. Not the best, not the worst. Enjoyed it for what it was. And, you know, I recommend it if it's on a streaming service or anything. Any final words from you, my friend?
Just don't get attached to really anybody. You know, it's kind of a Game of Thrones vibe. Don't get attached to anybody, really. You know? And that's the thing is, like, I couldn't really connect with anybody, really, except for a few people. Yeah. But, again, if you are like us and, you know, you don't mind there just being, you know, balls to the wall action sometimes, and it's a good watch. It is a good watch. And if you go and see it, I hope you have a good time watching it. You know, and that's pretty much what I gotta say. Yeah, like I said my negatives already, really. So it's a good watch, and I did enjoy watching it. So I can't really say that it was terrible. The main thing that stood out for me, as we've said multiple times, is freaking Post Malone, man.
It was just out of place, man. It really was out of place.
It really was. I really don't understand what
the scene he's in. It's so minimal. He's just literally. It's just one. It felt like one of those scenes where, like, and again, you know, we definitely got to wrap this up. But just in the sense of talking about Post Malone, it's like it's one of those scenes where they just feel like, hey, we're gonna stop the movie real quick to have that celebrity guest show up. And exactly he's not in the movie long. Exactly and when he's first introduced his character, he's speaking over a voice modulator. So we first hear him as like this deep voice, like, put the money in the truck, motherfucker, kind of situation. And then it cuts to him on the actual, like, whatever, walkie-talkie or whatever he's using.
Put the money in the bag, bitch.
Like, it's not that high-pitched, but, like, he definitely didn't sound super cool. Like, oh, that's what I'll say.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about it. It's like, oh my God. Wow. But yeah, no, he's right. It wasn't super cool, but you know, that's our thoughts, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please, the Big Rob Theory link down below in the description box. As usual, you can find the link to any of my guests down there. Go give them some love. Let them know I sent you. We actually just earlier today, as of filming this on the 16th, I don't know when this video will be up, but we just filmed and uploaded a video for Loki episode 2 called The Variant. So go check that out. It's already here on our YouTube channel or my YouTube channel. And yeah, like button, comment, subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Until next time.